Alright, let's dive into something that's got the music world buzzing, or maybe scratching their heads. Avenged Sevenfold just dropped Statica, an EP that's as polarizing as it is unexpected. Now, if you've been following this band, you know they're no strangers to shaking things up. But this time? They've gone full-on electronic. And personally, I think it's a move that's both bold and baffling. Let's break it down. First off, the hook. Statica is Avenged Sevenfold's latest experiment, an 18-minute electronic detour that feels like a cyberpunk fever dream. If you're a fan of their earlier work, this might feel like they've jumped into a completely different universe. But here's the thing, this isn't entirely out of left field. The band's been flirting with electronic elements for years, especially on albums like The Stage and Life Is But a Dream. So, when they announced this EP, I wasn't shocked. But I was curious. Very curious. What makes this really interesting is how Statica fits into the band's evolution. Avenged Sevenfold has always been a band that does what they want, not what fans expect. Remember when they went from metalcore darlings to radio rock stars with City of Evil? Or when they dipped into country and Danny Elfman-inspired theatrics on their self-titled album? Yeah, they've never been afraid to alienate their fanbase. And in my opinion, that's what makes them fascinating. They're not here to please, they're here to create. Now, let's talk about the music itself. The EP is heavily influenced by video game music, VGM, which honestly, feels right at home with their recent sci-fi and cyberpunk themes. Tracks like Statica and Rejoice have this infectious rhythm, thanks to Brooks Wackerman's drumming. But here's where it gets tricky, while the beats are solid, the overall sound feels safe. Like, too safe. The synth-heavy production is cool, but it doesn't push boundaries the way their progressive metal work did. It's like they're playing it safe in a genre that's supposed to be experimental. One thing that immediately stands out is M. Shadow's vocal performance. He's drenched in effects, robotic warbles, autotune, and while it fits the cyberpunk vibe, it also feels like a crutch. I get it, they're going for a unified sonic template, but it's not as impactful as his raw, emotive delivery on earlier albums. What this really suggests is that Statica is more about the concept than the execution. It's an idea that's greater than the sum of its parts, but only just. Here's where I'm torn. I admire Avenged Sevenfold's willingness to take risks. In an industry where bands often play it safe, they're out here making music that's unapologetically weird. But Statica doesn't feel like a step forward, it feels like a side step. It's not bad, but it's not groundbreaking either. It's like they're checking a box, yes, we made an electronic EP. And that's it. There's no depth, no innovation, just a lot of bleeps and bloops. What many people don't realize is that this EP is also tied to the band's recent focus on blockchain and NFTs. It's like they're trying to merge their music with the digital frontier, which is cool in theory. But does it work? Not really. The NFT stuff feels like a distraction, and Statica doesn't do enough to justify the hype. It's a detour, not a destination. If you take a step back and think about it, Avenged Sevenfold's journey is a testament to artistic freedom. They've gone from scrappy metalcore to mainstream rock, heavy metal to prog epics, and now this. They're not afraid to fail, and that's something I respect. But Statica feels like a misstep, a well-intentioned one, but a misstep nonetheless. It's not the experience I want from them moving forward, but I appreciate that they're still trying. So, is Statica worth your time? Honestly, it depends. If you're a die-hard fan, it's worth a listen just to see where the band's head is at. But if you're looking for the creativity and depth of The Stage or Life Is But a Dream, you're not going to find it here. This raises a deeper question: can a band's willingness to experiment outweigh the actual quality of the music? Personally, I think not. But I'm glad they're still taking risks. Closing thought, Avenged Sevenfold is a band that thrives on defiance. They've never cared about fitting into a box, and Statica is just the latest example of that. Is it a masterpiece? No. Is it interesting? Absolutely. But here's the thing, I'd rather see them fail spectacularly than play it safe. So, here's hoping their next move is a little bolder, a little weirder, and a lot more memorable. Until then, Statica is just a blip in their discography, a curious blip, but a blip nonetheless. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.